Hi everybody, it's great to be here, finally. I hope you have at least 1 or 2 brain cells left for me, because I saw some people with beer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We have a lot to cover, and you will have to think a bit, so just a warning. But before we start with that, just let me introduce myself. I have to turn on this thing. So, this is me. Hi, my name is Scharf, but everyone on the internet calls me D, so you can call me D too. I'm from Germany. I work as a software developer, magic apprenticeship at Beyond Code, where we make tools for you, so tools for developers. And speaking of tools, just the reminder that everyone is getting a Tinkerwell license today for free. So check this out if you haven't already. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, this is not a talk like, look at my perfect and fancy and shiny career. My career is far from perfect, and I made a lot of mistakes along the way. But by sharing the lessons that I learned with you today, I hope to save you from making at least some of the same mistakes. But mistakes aren't bad in general. Failure isn't fatal, as Winston Churchill said one time. The only thing that counts is the courage to continue, and I'm not sure if my microphone is working right now. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. Sounded weird just for a second. Okay, courage to continue, continuing, good thing. And you can take this as the whole mindset for today, because I will talk about ways to continue a lot. When it comes to career advice, you often hear phrases like, find your passion, do what you love what you do. And while nothing is inherently wrong about them, they are what they are. They are phrases, and they are not useful for your career. And I will come to this a little later. And this is not a talk like this. You won't hear any phrase from me today. Everything that I tell you, every story is out of my own experience. Every advice I give you, maybe, is battle-tested on my own battlefield, on my own career. So to start, I forgot about something really important. If nothing else, so no phrases for me today, but I have a promise for you, which is no bullshit. Okay, that's the most important thing about this talk, and just forget about it, sorry. Okay, so to start, really get into it, I want you to think about Monday. Not next Monday, last Monday, yesterday, any Monday in particular, just Monday as the general start of your work week. Imagine the following. You sit at dinner on Sunday evening, you had a great weekend, but suddenly you have the following thought in your head. I have to work tomorrow. How do you feel? Do you feel like, hell yeah, tomorrow is Monday, I can't wait. It's like going to a party for you, if you like going to parties. If you don't, then it's not a party for you, okay? Or is it less excited, but still, tomorrow is Monday, that's fine. Weekend is fine, but work is also fine. Or is Monday for you nothing but a big, fat, oh no, I don't want to, leave me alone. I mean, basically this is the equivalent of the thank God it's Friday people. It's just the other way around. Of course, not every Monday will be the same. One Monday will be great, next Monday won't be that great. Just take an average for yourself. And if you're not in this range between hell yeah and well, okay, I just suggest you think about changing something. Not quitting your job tomorrow. Please, don't do that. I'm responsible for this and I don't want to. Because think about it like you think about software development. Your career is like an application that has grown over a few years. And it will have some bugs and performance issues. And just because of that, you won't throw it away completely. You will work on it in several iterations, a few pull requests to make it better. But yeah, actually, how to change something? I mean, I know it's hard. You're caught in this day-to-day loop between work and your family and so many things to care about and all the stress from the outside, like a pandemic and whatever, all this shit, sorry. So it's hard to catch the present moment, evaluate it, and change something about it. But again, here as developers, I think we have an advantage because we have analytic minds. It's our daily task to question the status quo. We have an inner drive for improvement, for something new. I mean, there's always a shiny new thing, shiny new technology. And this mentality helps us to improve our career. Little warning ahead. I'm afraid it's not as easy as software development. But I think we will find a way. And with that, back to the Mondays. I thought about Mondays a lot in the past, like more than the average person, which is a bit weird. But I found out that there is something like a Monday feeling, and I can use it to evaluate how satisfied I am with my job right now. The Monday feeling is one of 3 indicators I will tell you about today, and it's quite simple. Is Monday my friend, or does he hit me in the face? Yeah, like Loki, so you could tell. You can use the Monday feeling as a weekly check-in, and if you're not sure, if you're in this range between hell yeah Monday and well okay, like I just showed you, I suggest you take action and you keep track of your Monday feeling. It's really simple. I mean, just take a piece of paper or open up a new Notion page, doesn't matter, and write down 1 sentence about how you feel about the upcoming Monday, just every Sunday. Do this, doesn't even take a minute. I did this some time ago, and I took it a step further than that. I had a great job at the beginning of my career. I had a great team, it was well paid, I did Laravel and PHP, but at some point, it started to suck. And I'll be honest with you, I had a bad mental state at that time in my life, so I wasn't sure if it's just me that everything sucks, or is really something wrong with my job. So I opened up a new Notion page because I am a Notion person, and I asked myself 2 questions every day, every workday, not just Sunday. What did you do, and how did you feel? It sounds quite simple, right? But simple approaches often work quite good. And I dig deep into my Notion archive because there are some entries that might be interesting. I wrote something like, I don't know if you can see this, so I just will tell you the gist of it. I wrote something like, I'm afraid that I unlearned to make good user interfaces, good systems. I was overwhelmed with work, but still bored. And I wanted to do everything else except for my work. It felt useless, what I did. I kept track of this for about 3 months, and after that, I had proof, I had confirmation for myself that something was wrong and I had to change something. Another indicator I found about, it's a quite simple one. I call it the dollar index. Do you earn money, or do you get paid pain compensation? You can use this dollar index on a larger scale, like a monthly check-in, for example. It's really simple. Just ask yourself every time your paycheck or salary just arrives, is it an honest reward for your work, like well-earned money, or is it just pain compensation? As long as my job was good, doesn't matter which one, it still is today, time just flew by. I was like, okay, so salary came in yesterday, that's fine, that's great. But where did this last 30 days or so go? But as soon as my job tilted into a different and opposite direction, I found myself thinking, okay, this is bad, and this sucks, and everything is just shit. But at least I get paid well. And then I was like, stop it. You have to change something. I mean, money is really important. I know this. I mean, we have to buy our coffee with something. But our daily work is a too big part of our lives that anybody should work just for the money and be unhappy about it. Just saying. Okay, I warned you. You have to think a bit. So I have a mind experiment for you. Imagine the following. You sit down at your desk tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, just ready to get your workday started, but suddenly your boss calls. And she tells you, you don't have to work anymore. You're not fired. You're not fired. Everything is fine. You will get your income just as you're used to, but you don't have to work anymore. So ask yourself, how fast do you walk away? Do you just stand up and go? Or do you even consider staying where you are, like pretending nothing has happened? Or do you run away? What is your escape speed for your current job situation? How fast would you run if nothing would matter? If you ask me now, I would say yes, I would stand up and I would go for a walk with my dog because she's awesome. But after that walk, I would just return to my desk and work on Tinkerwell or whatever it is for the day. If you asked me some time ago, yeah, not a story, but I found the perfect gift. I would jump out of the damn window just to get away from this company, which makes my escape speed basically the acceleration of gravity, which is pretty fast. So this is my coffee reminder, and I only have water here. So just give me a second. You can take a mental break, have a sip of your beer, whatever. Let me sum up what I have talked so far about. I told you about the Monday feeling, the dollar index, and the escape speed. And you can use these as a tool to evaluate how satisfied you are right now with your job. And if you say, okay, let me think for a minute, everything is fine, then I'm really happy for you. That's really great. But it's quite likely that it won't be like this forever. And at some point you decide that you need to change something. And we had it before, changing something is hard. But in the past, I was able to collect the 5 fixes for your career. Yeah. And this is bullshit. There is no fix, no patch, no workaround that will fix your career in a day, a week, or even a year. The only thing that you can change within the blink of an eye, not even a second, is your mindset. So I suggest we go with 4 impulses for your career mindset. The first impulse I have for you is the most important one. What is success? And why is it so important? For that, let's hop into software development again, because this is what we know. What is the first thing that you do when you start a new project or just start coding in a day? Do you just hop into your IDE and hack in as many lines of code as possible? That's not the first thing that you do. Before you even start touching your keyboard, you have an idea in your head. You imagine something about the result. You think. And you should apply the same approach for your career as well. Before changing directions in your career, or even before starting your career, think. Imagine something. So let's think together about success. What does success look like? Does success look like working at a super fancy corporation, driving the Tesla that I want to, please, thank you, and having like a super big fancy mansion and a ton of money? Or is success more like working a regular 9 to 5 and go surfing after 5 p.m.? Or is success traveling the world, seeing a new country each month and just work wherever you are on your own? Let me tell you something. None of this is success. None of this. But at the same time, everything about this is success. Because success is individual for every one of us. It looks different for every one of us. So instead of asking, what is success? You should ask, what is success for you? After I quit my last job, I was a bit lost. I wasn't sure what's my next step. What should I do? So I sat down and opened up a new Notion page, like I always do when I'm in a personal crisis. And I thought for myself, what is success for me? And it's a bit abstract to talk about it like this. So just to give you an example, I came up with 3 points. First one, I don't want to be rich, but I still don't want to count every penny that I spend. Second, I want to work remote, so I can travel, and so I can spend as much time as possible with my dog, because she's great. And third point, and most important for me, I want to work in a team where I can grow and where I can learn something new every day. After I knew for myself what success was, just for me, I could commit to a goal and take specific steps into a direction to reach that goal. Spoiler alert, it worked. Okay, so let's get to the fun part. I bet you heard at least one of these at some point in your career. Do what you love what you do, follow your passion, work hard, dream big, do it with passion or not at all. So let me get this straight. You only need to find your passion, and the great career that you're dreaming about will just follow by itself. I'm afraid this won't work. Let me tell you why. Think about your daily work as a developer. Do you get paid because you're passionate about Laravel or PHP, you name it? You don't, because passion pays no bills. You get paid because you fix a bug, you implement a new feature, or you share your knowledge with the client. You get paid because you serve a greater purpose, and purpose pays bills. Passion is only about you and the thing that you're passionate about. It's a bit of an ego thing. Purpose is about your work, the outcome of your work, and the influence on others. Nothing is inherently wrong about passion. Passion can help you to become a great developer. I am passionate about Laravel. But passion is really dangerous for your career, because passion can trap you. I know this because I was in this passion trap for some time. I had another great job earlier in my career, and I'm really good at finding jobs that look awesome from the outside. I had a great team again, it was well paid again, I did Laravel again, everything fine, and I loved what I did for coding there. I worked overtime by choice, and I didn't even have the need for a vacation. And this is not healthy. I was so passionate about my work, my coding, that at some point, I even neglected obvious problems about the company and my job. My passion made it hard for me to quit because I built some false loyalty just because of my passion. Again, nothing is wrong about loving what you do, but that doesn't mean that you should just ignore everything around it. So, it may happen that you're stuck and just everything sucks, like everything. And before you continue with your circle of complaining and everything is bad, stop for just a minute and consider your perspective. Because perspective matters. It's really abstract again, so let me give you an example. Do you hate an entry-level position because it's not that well paid and you think deep down inside that you're too good for it? That's an ego thing again. Change your perspective, because when you change your perspective, it can improve your whole perception of a situation and therefore your whole feeling of a situation. But it may be that changing perspective doesn't work and you're still stuck. And for this, I found out about something that I call embracing adversity. It means that you take the obstacle in your way and turn it into your advantage. In simpler terms, you make the best out of a bad situation. This approach is unique for every one of us, but I have a story for you to tell you how this approach helped me over a really hard time in my life. This is not a funny story, and I will have to drink something before. It's water, nothing else. So, after I graduated school, 18 years old or so, I started an apprenticeship for software development. This means, for everyone who doesn't know, that you work at a company for about quarter of a wage, and you also go to a dedicated school where you can learn specific things just for this job. At first it was quite cool, but after some time I realized that all the indicators I told you like before were like flashing red, and that had two main reasons. First one, in that company there was no such thing as a work-life balance. Second, and more important reason, I was the only woman in my class. And at some point, the other guys started bullying me for the only reason that I am a woman. I mean, they literally said things like, "You don't belong here. You belong into a kitchen or a hairdresser shop." They made fun of me constantly. Even the teachers were starting to tell these creepy jokes about women in my presence during the lessons. And some of the guys even tried to sabotage my work, my code at the company. And at some point I knew, that's it, I can't do this anymore. And I knew I had three options. First one, quitting, dropping out completely. But that wasn't really an option for me because I still like coding and I wanted that certificate, so not an option. Second one, keep going for this for 3 more years. Not an option too. I knew I wouldn't do this. Third option, skip classes and finish the whole thing in not quite 2 years before all the other guys. So I tried to take energy from the desperation, the constant threat, the anger in me, and use it for studying. And it worked. I got really good grades. I could finish the whole thing before all the other people in like not even 2 years. And after that, I turned down every job offer from that company to work there as a full software developer and went straight to university. Embracing adversity, in my case, meant to push myself over my limits, to learn how to deal with, let's say, difficult people. And I also learned, and that's the most important one, how to distance myself from a situation emotionally. But, of course, it may be that nothing of this works. You change your perspective, didn't work. You embraced adversity, didn't work. And then it's important that you know that you can always quit. You might not quit today or next month, but keep in mind that you can always quit. You don't have to work where you are right now. Nobody forces you. There is always another way. Keep in mind that you can always quit, because otherwise your career can become your prison, and we don't want that. Okay, enough of the dark talk. I'm done with this. Let's wrap it up. I told you about 3 indicators and 4 impulses that you can use to evaluate and maybe improve your career. But I also promised you no bullshit. So this might not work for you, none of this. Because in today's world, you don't have any more guarantees. You can go to the most fancy school and plan your life ahead like year by year and still end up on the street. But I can promise you the following. If you work with impulses and indicators like these, edit them, make them better just for you. You will develop a mindset that will bring you forward just by itself. You will go from reacting to acting, to forming your own way. You will go from bug fixing your career to developing your career. And in the end, you will grow. And that's the whole point. And with that, I say thank you so much for listening. And I hope you have a great day. I will be around for a discussion or whatever question you have for me. What?
Wait a bit.
Okay. I'm not running away, I'm just staying here.
I got a question.
Of course you do.
From an anonymous user.
I won't answer this. No.
How many Notion pages did you have?
1,000?
Fair enough.
About?
And Stefan Baumann, there's a lot of Baumann here, he's asking, when is Tinkerwell 3 is going to be released?
When the magic is done.
You heard of it? When the magic is done. Many thanks.
Thank you.
I enjoy the talks when everyone is in silence.
Just drinking beer all the time.
I didn't say that. But please, thank you.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Big round of applause for Dee.